And I'm gonna pass it around after I use it so you can feel the texture of it. And then I have regular flour, so we're gonna do half and half, semolina and regular flour. Warm water and salt and a little olive oil, that's it. So I'm gonna do equal parts in my bowl here. A metal bowl is nice because then you can just put it in your fridge and let it rest for a little bit. Like 15 minutes to half an hour is great. I'm putting half and half in here, and then I'm gonna add water. This is a lot less messy than doing it on a table too, which we do sometimes too. I'm gonna mix these two together here, and then I'm gonna add warm water to it, and I'm gonna start just kneading it, and I'm gonna add just a little bit of olive oil and salt. So that's it. Those are the ingredients. And now I'm gonna show you. It's gonna start looking funny, like Play-Doh. But all that flour you're gonna mix directly in, and you don't need a lot of water either. And you can smell it. It already smells amazing. Just that you can smell it. It smells just like pasta. So I'm just gonna knead this. We learned a recipe like this in Italy when we were in Tuscany, and we had to roll. I'm gonna show you how we actually made that pasta. But once I did it for a wine dinner, bad idea, because you have to roll every individual piece of pasta out, and then like 50 people signed up for it. And I was like, why did I do this to myself? So this is what it's going to start to look like. See how it's starting to form a ball already? And this is fun for kids to do too. You put them to work. So now that I have a nice ball formed, I'm just going to go over here on my cutting board for a second and start to knead it front to back, side to side. And it's going to start to make a pretty little ball. You don't want it too dry and you don't want it too wet. If it's too dry, it breaks up when you put it through the machine. If it's too wet, it sticks to the machine. So I've got this machine up here. I don't know if you can see it. It's a cute little red machine because it's like red and bright colors. I got it on Amazon for $24.99. I looked yesterday. It's still $24.99. I got it like 3 years ago. Wow. So you guys can get this, and it has the attachment to make fettuccine and chitarra pasta there. So I'm going to show you to make that too. For it's heavy too. It's a really nice machine. So just so you know, you can afford one. You don't have to buy a $200 KitchenAid attachment if you don't want to. I mean, back in the old days, they used a rolling pin. So yes.
Do you have like a basic starting amount, like for number of amounts of pasta?
You can look up a recipe online. There's a million of them, but it's just I just do it by hand because I'm used to it. It's equal parts flours and then water, but you gotta feel it. It's harder than you think.
So if you were to do an egg now, you would just add an egg into
Yep,
that?
yep,
Okay.
yep.
Instead of the water?
No, water and egg.
Water
A little of
and
both.
egg,
Yep.
okay.
So
What's the benefit of the egg?
the egg adds a lot of flavor to it and a little bit more elasticity.
And why do they put it like I've seen them, I'm sorry, put a whole, like a valley in the flour?
Oh, because then you can start mixing it slowly from the
Okay.
inside out.
Okay.
And it helps it mix better. So yeah, I always add a little bit of water to the egg pasta. You can do it with just egg, and it's harder to work with. Yeah.
If you're using, like making the egg pasta, do you still need to use olive oil?
Yeah, I always like to add a little olive oil to it just because it helps make it smoother. All right, who's Jean? Which one's Jean?
Me.
Jean, get some gloves on.
All right.
Hope they fit your big old hands. I'm gonna have you work this pasta for a minute. Okay, you think you can handle that? Not gonna spill it? Come on this other side. You know I would cuss you out if you came today. All right. While Jean is gonna knead a little bit, I'm gonna pass around a basic tomato sauce that you can find in the store. I'm gonna tell you why you don't want to use this one. So, start reading ingredients. I tell you this at every single class. This has sugar in it, okay? You don't need sugar in your tomatoes if they're good tomatoes. Buy a product that has no sugar in there. There's added sugar you don't need in your life. Read, excuse me, Gina, I'm coming behind you. Look and read labels. So, what does it say? Vine ripened fresh tomatoes, salt, and citric acid. That's all you should have. This is the magic. Oh, girl, you can't hold it with wine.
We don't want to spill it, believe me.
Yeah, you don't want to pull the jeans.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, so start reading labels. What I use are crushed tomatoes. They come in a little can. Y'all know how much I love Aldi. They sell organic crushed tomatoes there. Yum. Get a can of crushed tomatoes there. And it's good. About that size. That could feed a family of four. Okay? It's about $1.39 for a can of that. So let's make sure you know it's not expensive either to make a good pasta sauce. It's fairly inexpensive. Look at the labels, make sure there's no sugar added to your crushed tomatoes. Should just be salt and tomatoes and citric acid.
So
Okay.
right now it's like all of your tomatoes, if you're growing your own tomatoes with them being in season.
That's a lot of work, but you can still do it because you have to crisscross it, peel them, blanch them, peel them, run them through a food mill. You want to do all that? Then,
I tried it and I was not successful.
well, in the
It
middle
tasted
of,
like a
Cane
tomato
sugar right
paste.
after.
yeah.
It
Well,
still was good, but.
my mother-in-law, I just got back from Italy, my mother-in-law was making sauce at midnight. She's 90. I was like, Ma, go to bed, it's midnight. She's like, I'm just canning it up. But it's so good. Like, if I could steal her and bring her here and have her make sauce, I would in a second. But, how you doing, Jean?
I'm good.
Yeah?
Leading the way.
All right, good job. So, read labels. This tomato sauce I make has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ingredients, 6 ingredients. So I'm going to show you how fast and easy it is to make homemade tomato sauce. Why shouldn't you buy this stuff, ragu? Why shouldn't you buy ragu?
It's not really.
Okay, it's super processed, it's full of sugars, sodium. You're paying like $4 a jar lately. It's ridiculous. When you can make your own for $1.50. Okay, and it's gonna taste amazing. After I'm done making it, I have spoons up here and we're gonna try it. But this is the sauce that my mother-in-law taught me how to make when we were over there. So it's legit, and you're gonna be surprised. All right, Jean, I'm gonna not try. You can still. Okay. I'm just gonna show you my recipe. Yep, you pay attention and eat at the same time. All right. So I got a big old white onion here. I'm only gonna use like a quarter of it. A few more minutes, G. No sweat. No sweat. All right.
Let it work.
I'm going to use a quarter of a white onion, and I'm going to fine. You don't need fancy tools either. Look what I use to cut. What is that? Just like old steak knife. You know why? Because I like the ridges on it, and that helps me cut better. And everyone has this in the kitchen, so I didn't want to show you anything with fancy stuff. I know what you guys got in your kitchens. You got butter knives. I go to my friends' kitchens, and they have nothing but like real dull knives. I'm like, ooh, how are you even cooking over here?
They're not.
Yeah, so I'm just fine dicing this onion. Someone time me. Will you put your timer on? I want you to know how fast this is. Tell me when to start. Put a timer on your phone. Stopwatch, what is it? Anybody?
You can go.
Go.
Go? Okay. So I'm cutting my onion. I'm just chopping that onion. My mother-in-law has this tool that she puts it through and it just makes it real fine dice. So I'm gonna turn on my awesome little cooking stove here. You can get these at the market for like 20 bucks, the Asian market in Kentwood. Coming back here.
Where is it at? Is it by
It's
Horrocks?
44th Street.
That sounds good.
The Horrocks one by,
No, it's 44th and Division.
okay.
So, olive oil. You notice the color of this olive oil? It's kind of green, right? Why is that?
Because it's fresh olives.
Because it's good olive oil. It's the real thing. Okay? Good olive oil should be in a tin or a dark bottle because when light hits it, it starts to slowly ruin it. So, should say 100% extra virgin on it. It should be 100% from one country instead of 14. It can be from Italy, it's even better. But olive oil. And because there were some vegans, I'm not putting butter, but I like to put butter in my sauce. But you don't have to. Just really good olive oil. My mother used like a gallon. My mother-in-law uses a gallon a day. I feel like so. But I'm using like I'm using like 2 tablespoons there.
Would you use olive oil and butter, or would you use one or the other?
I use both. I like to use both. But here at the restaurant, I only make it vegan.
Okay.
So when vegans come in, it's ready. At home, I put butter in there.
How much butter?
Yeah.
How much butter do you
A
use?
tablespoon and a tablespoon if you're going to use butter. If you're just using olive oil, 2 tablespoons. So far I have 2 ingredients, right? Olive oil and onion. Equal parts, so 2 tablespoons of butter or 2 tablespoons of olive oil, or 1 and 1. If you, I think it's better to do 1 and 1 because butter will burn on its own. It's better to have the oil blend. So you can already smell the onions.
On the olive oil, does it make a difference on price? I mean, is it?
Well, the more expensive is the better. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, for sure. It always works that way, doesn't it?
It's a good question.
And oil gets rancid after about 6 months. You'll open it and it'll smell kind of funny. Don't use that. That's it. All right, I'm browning the onions. All right. I browned the onions now, so I'm adding the 3rd ingredient, which is these beautiful crushed tomatoes. Well, like the can, the 16-ounce can I passed around. I'm making a little bit more because you guys are here and I want you to taste it. So, here we go. These tomatoes are already beautiful and delicious how they are. You can eat them straight out of the can. They got a good salt to them. So I'm just looking, look how thick that is. See, sometimes you get like watery. No, if you get crushed tomatoes, a good quality one, it's already nice and thick. That's what you want for your sauce, so it holds onto your pasta. All right, Jean. You did a good job.
Thank you.
Don't sweat on my pasta.
I did not. Thank you. Only had a beard to wash.
You did have one.
No.
All right, next step. Why didn't I use garlic, you might be asking?
Yeah.
What the heck? Italians don't use as much garlic as you think.
Really?
My mother-in-law barely uses it. Okay, well, she does grow her own herbs, but my sauce only has basil in it. You see I'm layering my leaves of basil on top of each other. This is how I like to cut basil. Then I just roll it up and slice it, and it makes it super pretty. You can put as much or as little basil as you want. I love a lot of basil, but that's up to you. Fresh basil is the best. Please do not use that crap that's in a little jar. It's not basil. It's just dried up flakes. All right. So basil. So how many ingredients do I have?
3.
Tomato, onion, basil.
Olive oil,
Onion, tomato sauce.
4.
onion,
4.
tomato sauce, basil. Okay. A little bit of salt. You add as much or as little as you want based on your diet. Some people like low in salt. I am a saltaholic, so I'm going to add a little bit more than probably you would. This is the magic. I have a story. When I went to my mother-in-law's, she would say, I would say, Mom, your sauce is so good. There's got to be something in it. No, it's just this. Then one day I caught her sprinkling a little bit of this ginger in there. I was like, hey! So, like, the smallest amount of ginger, this ground ginger, that's her magic trick. And I was like, it took me like 5 years to get that out of her.
Now you have your own basil plant,
Yes.
and you dry your own basil, is that?
That's fine. You know what she does? She puts it in the freezer.
Yeah.
And then she just sprinkles it in the wintertime. Yeah, so. Okay, I'm done. Time out. We're at
It's-
minutes.
6
Yes.
minutes.
Woo! We have time.
All right. So, I'm going to taste it. This is the most important part of cooking. Taste your
Crushed
food.
tomatoes, basil, salt to taste, and ginger.
It's exactly how I like it. Okay? So,
Do you not use pepper in there at all?
I do not use pepper. Nope.
What can you substitute for basil if you're not crazy about basil?
If you don't like basil, just leave it out.
Are there other seasonings you would suggest?
I mean, you can put oregano. I'm not a huge oregano fan.
Okay.
It's a little too strong for me.
Okay,
But just leave it out. It's so good without.
okay.
Also, if you want to make it into a meat sauce instead, all you do when you're sauteing your onions, throw the meat. I usually like to use half beef, half pork. You can do whatever you want. But do that with the onions and then add the sauce after when the meat is cooked, and you got meat sauce too. Okay? That only takes a few extra minutes to do. Super fast. Maybe 8 minutes instead of 6. You know what I mean? How many people think they can handle that? Right? I'm gonna leave it up here so later you guys can try not only the raw tomato, the can of tomatoes, but the sauce as well. Just so you know what it tastes like. I got plastic spoons up here, so don't double dip. So Jean was awesome and helped me, you know, get all my pasta together here.
How long do you have to knead for?
It's like 5 to 8 minutes.
Okay.
It's a glass of wine.
Can you overheat the pasta? Yeah, you don't want to do more than that, 5 to 8 minutes. That's fine. 5 minutes is good.
The max.
Yeah.
As much as I can handle.
How come you made it so hot in here, people?
Was breathing.
Hot air. Hot breath. Okay.
Yeah.
So now